In the embrace of ancient slumber, where the sands of time stretched into eternity, and the whispers of the Nile flowed like a lullaby, we begin our journey. Imagine, if you will, a sky of deepest indigo, speckled not with diamonds, but with the dust of distant nebulae, each a tiny starboat sailing on the cosmic river. Below, the gentle breath of the desert stirred the grains, a soft, hushed sound like silk brushing against silk. Feel the warmth of the day slowly receding, leaving behind a comforting coolness that kisses your skin, inviting you to settle deeper into your rest. Our story unfolds in a time long, long ago, when the gods walked closer to the earth, and their benevolent shadows stretched across the land of Kemet. It was a time when the moon, known as Ea, hung like a pearl in the velvet sky, casting a silvery glow upon the silent temples and the slumbering palms. Tonight, Ea was full and round, a watchful eye gazing down upon the sleeping world, promising serenity and peace to all who nestled beneath its gaze. We begin our gentle drift in a quiet corner of this ancient land, far from the bustling markets and the grand pronouncements of pharaohs. Our path leads us to a small, sun-baked village nestled along the curves of the great river, the eternal Nile. Here the day's labors have long ended. The farmers have left their fields, their tools put away, and the simple rhythm of their lives has slowed to a soft, steady beat. The cattle are lowing softly in their pens, their heavy eyelids drooping. Even the playful jerboas, usually so quick and skittish, have retreated to their burrows, their tiny hearts beating a peaceful rhythm. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of the village, just where the cultivated fields meet the untamed desert. The air is still and sweet, carrying the faint scent of drying reeds and the subtle aroma of freshly baked bread from a nearby home. A solitary date palm sways almost imperceptibly, its fronds rustling like a whispered secret to the night breeze. Look up. Above you, the constellations begin to reveal themselves, not in a sudden burst, but in a gradual, tender unfolding, like flowers opening their petals to the dawn. Orion, the mighty hunter, now appears as a gentle guardian, his starlight a beacon of quiet strength. Sirius, the dog star, twinkles with a friendly light, a loyal companion in the vastness.
Our focus narrows to a humble mud-brick house, its walls softened by time and the elements. Inside, the last flicker of a lamp has been extinguished, leaving the room bathed in the soft, ambient glow that filters through the open doorway. Here a child named Ren, whose name means name or essence, lies upon a simple mat, a linen cloth drawn lightly over them. Ren has spent the day exploring the banks of the Nile, watching the fishing boats drift lazily, and perhaps building small pyramids of sand at the water's edge. Now weariness has claimed them, and their breathing is deep and even, a gentle tide rising and falling. As Ren sleeps, the world outside becomes even quieter. The distant hoot of an owl drifts on the breeze, a mournful yet calming sound that underscores the stillness. A scarab beetle, its iridescent shell glinting faintly in the moonlight, slowly crosses the threshold of the doorway, a tiny, industrious traveler making its way home. It makes no sound, its legs moving with a delicate precision, a testament to the quiet persistence of life even in the deepest night. With each slow breath Ren takes, a gentle energy stirs within the dream realm. For an ancient Kemet, sleep was not merely an absence of waking, but a journey. It was a time when the soul, known as the Ba, might leave the body, fluttering like a bird to explore realms unseen by the waking eye. Tonight, Ren's Ba has begun to stir, a soft, luminous mist rising from their sleeping form, imbued with a childlike wonder and an innocent curiosity. The Ba, formless yet full of potential, drifts upward through the simple roof of the house and into the vast expanse of the night sky. It is drawn, as if by an invisible thread of starlight, towards something ancient and grand. This thread leads it over the sleeping village, past the silent fields, and further towards the edge of the desert, where the very air feels charged with an ethereal calm. Before long, Ren's Ba finds itself hovering above a place of profound tranquility. It is an ancient temple, not one of the colossal structures that dominate the grand cities, but a smaller, more intimate sanctuary, built into the side of a low, rocky outcrop. Its sandstone walls, weathered by millennia of sun and wind, now gleamed with a faint, warm luminescence under Ah's gaze. Hieroglyphs carved into its facade, depicting scenes of offerings and sacred rituals, seemed to glow with an inner light, telling silent stories of devotion and peace. The entrance to the temple is open, a dark rectangle inviting passage. Yet it is not truly dark, for within a soft, steady light pulses like the gentle beating of a heart. Drawn by an irresistible, peaceful curiosity, Ren's Ba drifts through the archway, passing between two silent, watchful statues of jackals, their forms sleek and serene, guardians of the threshold. Inside, the air is cool and still, carrying the faint scent of ancient incense and dry papyrus. The walls are adorned with frescoes depicting the gods and goddesses, their faces serene, their eyes holding wisdom older than the stars. The light emanates from a central chamber, drawing the Ba deeper into the temple's embrace. As Ren's Ba floats into this inner sanctum, it perceives a figure seated upon a simple yet elegant stone throne.
This is no ordinary being. This is Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom, writing, and the moon. His head is that of a graceful ibis, its long curved beak resting gently upon his chest. His body is that of a man, clad in robes as white as moonlight on water, adorned with subtle patterns that seem to shift and flow like ripples. In one hand he holds a scribe's palette and a reed pen. In the other a scroll unfurls, upon which are inscribed the silent mysteries of the cosmos. Thoth's eyes, deep and knowing, are closed, as if he too is in a state of profound meditation, communing with the very essence of silence. Around him the soft light pulsates, a gentle rhythm that seems to echo the rise and fall of sleep itself. He is not alone. Beside him, nestled amongst the scrolls and instruments of knowledge, rests a small white baboon, its eyes also closed, a symbol of Thoth's sacred wisdom. The baboon's fur looks impossibly soft, like spun moonlight. Rens-Ba, without form or voice, simply observes, a silent witness to this scene of divine tranquility. It feels no fear, only a deep sense of belonging, as if it has found a quiet harbor after a long, gentle journey. The presence of Thoth is not overwhelming, but rather profoundly calming, like the presence of a wise old friend who sits with you in comfortable silence. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, Thoth's eyes open. They are the color of the deep night sky, luminous with ancient knowledge, yet infinitely gentle. He does not speak aloud, but his thoughts, clear and resonant, flow into the awareness of Rens-Ba, like water softly meeting the shore. "Welcome, small voyager," his silent voice intones, echoing not in the ears, but in the deepest parts of the soul. You have journeyed far on the currents of slumber. Know that here, in the embrace of thought and tranquility, you are safe. Thoth extends a hand, not in invitation to approach, but in a gesture of shared understanding. He does not touch Rens-Ba, but a soft, warm energy radiates from his palm, a feeling of deep peace that settles over the spectral form. It is the feeling of being understood, of being watched over by a benevolent presence. The night is a time for journeying, not just across the sands, but across the vast landscapes of the mind. Each dream is a tale, each moment of slumber a whisper from the cosmic Vart. You are learning the gentle art of wandering, the subtle dance of the spirit. He gazes at the frescoes on the temple walls, his eyes tracing the outlines of goddesses and gods, of stars and symbols. The stories inscribed here are not just for the waking eye. They are for the dreaming heart, for the soul that seeks understanding in the quiet hours. Tonight we shall drift through some of these stories, carried by the gentle breath of Ea, the moon.
Thoth shifts slightly on his throne, a movement as graceful and unhurried as the slow unfolding of a lotus blossom. The little white baboon beside him stirs, lets out a tiny, soft yawn, and then settles back into its peaceful slumber, a perfect picture of contentment. Imagine, if you will, Thoth's silent voice suggests, that we are now drifting not in a temple, but on the calm, wide expanse of the Nile itself. The moon, Ea, is our guide, painting a silver path upon the water. We are in a small papyrus skiff, woven with the lightest touch, strong enough to carry us through the dream currents, yet so light it feels as if we are floating on air. Rens-Ba, still observing, now feels itself gently transforming. It is no longer just a mist, but a tiny shimmering point of light, a star seed, drifting in this dream skiff. The temple walls around it seem to dissolve, not with a sudden shift, but with a slow, graceful fading, like mist dispersing in the morning sun. In their place, the vast open sky stretches above, and below, the glassy surface of the Nile reflects the constellations in perfect harmony. The skiff, unguided by oars, moves with an almost imperceptible current. There is no sound save for the soft lapping of water against the papyrus hull, a rhythmic, soothing sound that perfectly matches the cadence of a quiet breath. The air is cool and gentle, carrying the faint, sweet scent of water lilies that bloom in the moonlight. As they drift, Thoth's silent narration begins to paint pictures in the mind of Rens-Ba. Look towards the eastern bank, he suggests, his silent voice imbued with a calm reverence. There the world is still cloaked in shadows, but soon, very soon, the golden orb of Ra will begin his journey across the sky. He is the sun, the giver of life, and his voyage is one of constant renewal. Even in his absence, in these deep hours of night, his promise of return warms the heart. Rens-Ba sees, not with physical eyes, but with an inner vision, the faint outline of the desert on the eastern horizon. It is a silhouette, dark against the slightly lighter sky, a silent sentinel awaiting the dawn. But dawn is still hours away, and the night holds its own gentle magic. Now let your gaze drift westward,
Thoth's voice continues, gentle as a sigh. Here the world of the living slowly gives way to the realm of the tranquil west, the place where the sun sets, and where the blessed ones find their eternal peace. It is a place not of ending, but of quiet transition, of rest after a long journey. As they float, the current grows even slower, almost stopping entirely. The skiff seems suspended in liquid starlight. Above, the stars appear even more numerous, each one a tiny lamp lit by unseen hands. The Milky Way, a luminous river of stars, stretches across the zenith, a cosmic echo of the Nile below. Sometimes, Thoth's thoughts murmur, the goddess Seshat, my companion, who records all knowledge, would join me on these dream journeys. She is the scribe of the gods, her brow adorned with a seven-pointed star. She gathers the thoughts of humanity, the quiet insights, the gentle inspirations that bloom in the stillness of night. She reminds us that even our simplest thoughts have a place in the grand tapestry of existence. Though Seshat is not physically present, Rens-Ba feels a gentle feminine presence, like a soft touch, a comforting embrace that whispers of wisdom and careful observation. It is a feeling of being completely safe, completely seen, in the most tender way imaginable. The skiff continues its slow, almost imperceptible journey. The banks of the Nile become more distant, receding into the dream haze, until all that remains is the water, the sky, and the gentle, watchful presence of Thoth. The concept of time itself begins to dissolve, each moment stretching into a soft eternity. Look now above us, Thoth's voice guides, his tone as soft as a breeze. Can you perceive the silent passage of Nut, the sky goddess? Her vast star-spangled body arches over all, protecting the earth. Her hands and feet touch the horizons, and within her celestial embrace the sun, moon, and stars all journey. She is the ultimate mother, holding us all in her gentle cosmic arms as we sleep. Rens-Ba looks upwards, and now it perceives not just the stars, but the faint, shimmering outline of a colossal figure spanning the entire heavens. It is Nut, her form so immense, so ethereal, that she seems to be made of starlight and shadow. Her face, though distant, is serene, radiating a profound sense of protection. The stars are like jewels embedded in her skin, twinkling with a benevolent light. And below her, Thoth's thoughts flow, rests Geb, the earth god. He is your bed, your solid foundation, upon which all life rests. His body is the land, the mountains, the valleys, the fertile fields. He is strong and constant, holding you securely. And between Nut and Geb, the air itself, Shu, the god of air and light, gently separates them, allowing space for life to breathe, for dreams to unfold. Rens-Ba feels a subtle shift, a profound sense of being cradled between the vastness of the sky and the solidity of the earth. It is a feeling of perfect balance, of being held and supported by the very fabric of existence. The skiff, the water, everything seems to merge into this larger cosmic embrace. The journey continues, if journey it can be called, for it is more a state of being, a gentle suspension in the cosmic lullaby. Thoth's voice remains a constant, soothing presence, a gentle anchor in the ocean of dreams.
Consider the quiet wisdom of Osiris, Thoth whispers, as if sharing a sacred secret. He is the god of the afterlife, of resurrection, and of the fertile abundance that rises from the earth. His story speaks not of endings, but of transformation, of the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, like the annual flooding of the Nile that brings life to the land. Even in the deepest sleep, there is a promise of gentle renewal, a fresh awakening. A soft, verdant green light now seems to emanate from beneath the water, a subtle glow that speaks of fertility and new beginnings, even in the heart of night. It is not bright, but a gentle, phosphorescent gleam, like tiny glowworms dancing in the depths. And beside him, his steadfast sister and wife, Isis, Thoth's voice murmurs, painting a picture with words of pure light. She is the great magician, the healer, the protector of all. Her love is a gentle balm, her presence a comforting warmth. She reminds us that even in the quietest moments, there is a powerful, loving energy watching over us, mending what is broken, soothing what is troubled. Rens-Ba feels a wave of profound comfort, a sense of being utterly cherished and protected. It is a feeling like a mother's gentle hand on a sleeping child's brow, soft and reassuring.
Their son, Horus, the falcon-headed god, Thoth continues, his voice flowing like smooth honey, is the protector of the living, the embodiment of kingship and order. His watchful eye, the eye of Horus, is a powerful symbol of health, prosperity, and protection against all harm. Even as you sleep, his silent vigil keeps you safe. His keen vision guards your slumber. As he speaks, a faint golden light, shaped like a stylized eye, appears far above them, suspended in the night sky. It glows with a steady, unwavering light, a benevolent watchfulness that promises security and peace through the darkest hours. It is not an intimidating gaze, but a comforting one, like a lighthouse guiding ships to safe harbor. the skiff drifts further into what feels like an endless expanse of tranquility. The edges of the world seem to blur, and the distinction between the Nile and the cosmic river of stars becomes indistinct. All is one, flowing in a timeless current of peace. Sometimes I think of Khonsu, the moon god, my fellow celestial traveler. He waxes and wanes, reflecting the different phases of life. He is a healer, his touch gentle as the moonbeam. He reminds us that change is natural, a soft rhythm of existence, and that even in moments of diminished light, there is a promise of fullness to come. The moonlight, which has been constant, now seems to subtly shift, as if the moon itself is gently breathing, its radiance ebbing and flowing in the softest possible rhythm. This gentle pulsation is profoundly hypnotic, inviting an even deeper relaxation. Think of the desert winds, the ancient Shemu, Thoth murmurs. They may seem harsh in the waking world, but in the dream state they are but gentle sighs, carrying the stories of millennia across the dunes. They whisper of endurance, of stillness, of the vast, unchanging beauty of the land. Rens-Ba now perceives a faint ethereal haze, like distant heat shimmering over the dunes, but it is cool, not warm, a mirage of tranquility. From it, a soft, almost inaudible sighing sound emanates, like the very breath of the desert itself, a sound that lulls and soothes. And within the desert, Thoth's voice continues, there are hidden oases, emerald jewels of life and refreshment. These are like the quiet moments of peace within your own heart, the reservoirs of calm that you can always return to. They remind you that even in vastness there is always a source of comfort and renewal. A soft green light, reminiscent of the earlier verdant glow, now seems to emanate from a distant, unseen source, a promise of coolness and quiet shelter in the midst of the vastness. It is a gentle, inviting glow, a place of rest and quiet contemplation. The feeling of drifting becomes even more pronounced. Rens-Ba is no longer just a shimmering point of light, but has dissolved into the very fabric of the dream, a gentle consciousness floating effortlessly. The boundary between observer and observed has softened, allowing for a deeper immersion into the peaceful journey. Consider the silent, watchful cats, the sacred felines of Bastet. Thoth's voice glides, smooth and calming. They are symbols of protection, of grace, of contentment. They sleep deeply, purring softly, reminding us of the simple joy of rest, of being safe and warm. Bastet herself is a goddess of joy, of music, of protective warmth. Her presence is like a gentle purr in the heart of the night. A feeling of soft, velvety warmth now seems to envelop Ren's Ba, a comforting presence that feels like the gentle brushing of fur. It is a feeling of being completely unburdened, utterly at peace, curled up in a safe, warm place.
And the soft murmur of the birds, even in their slumber, Thoth continues, his voice a lullaby. The swallows, returning to their nests, their day's flight ended. They settle, their tiny hearts beating a peaceful rhythm, knowing that the sun will rise again. They are a gentle reminder of the natural cycles of rest and renewal. A faint, almost imperceptible twittering sound, like the softest rustle of feathers, seems to drift from somewhere far away, a sound that is part of the silence, a gentle counterpoint to the deep quiet. The skiff, or what remains of the sensation of it, is now barely moving. The current has slowed to an almost complete stop. The stars above twinkle with an even softer light, their brilliance mellowed into a gentle shimmer. The moon, Ea, has begun its slow descent towards the western horizon, casting longer, softer shadows, pulling the veil of night deeper around the dreaming world. We have drifted far on the currents of slumber tonight, across the Nile of dreams, under the gaze of Nut, protected by the eye of Horus and guided by the light of Ea. You have journeyed through the quiet wisdom of the gods, learning that even in stillness there is movement, even in darkness there is light, and even in silence there are stories waiting to be heard. He pauses, and the silence that follows is not empty, but full, rich with peace and profound understanding. It is a silence that invites deeper rest, a letting go. Now, small voyager, Thoth concludes, his silent voice gently receding, like the last ripple on a calm pond. It is time to return to your resting place. The Ba will gently settle back into its home, bringing with it the peace and wisdom gathered from these dream journeys. You carry with you the gentle protection of the night, the soothing embrace of the cosmos. As Thoth's silent voice fades, the vast starry expanse of the cosmic Nile begins to slowly, gently dissolve. The individual stars blur into soft streaks of light, like dust motes dancing in a sunbeam. The outline of Nut, the sky goddess, slowly softens and becomes indistinct. The golden eye of Horus begins to dim, its benevolent light gradually receding into the velvet canvas of the sky. The feeling of drifting on the papyrus skiff also fades, replaced by a sense of gentle falling, not a fearful drop, but a soft descent, like a feather floating down on a still breeze. Ren's Ba, the shimmering point of light, begins to coalesce, to reform into a soft, ethereal mist, infused with a deep sense of peace,
and a lingering echo of Thoth's gentle presence.
The temple, with its silent jackal guardians and glowing hieroglyphs, softly re-emerges around the dissolving scene. Thoth is still seated on his throne, his eyes once again closed in deep meditation, the little white baboon sleeping peacefully beside him. The soft, pulsating light within the temple grows even gentler, dimmer, becoming barely more than a warm breath in the cool air. Ren's Ba drifts slowly back out of the temple, passing between the silent jackal statues once more. The air outside is now even cooler, the scent of the desert more pronounced. Aya, the moon, is now lower in the western sky, a silvery crescent, ready to complete its nightly journey. Its light is softer, more diffused, painting the landscape in shades of deep indigo and pewter. The mud brick house, where Ren sleeps soundly, slowly comes into view. The silent village, wrapped in the profound stillness of the very deepest night, awaits the gentle touch of dawn. A lone donkey brays softly in the distance, a sound that is comforting in its familiarity, a gentle reminder of the waking world, still distant. Ren's Ba, now a delicate mist, drifts back through the open doorway of the humble house. It hovers for a moment over the sleeping form of the child, a luminous veil of peace and quiet joy. Slowly, so slowly, the mist descends, merging with the sleeping body, like dew settling on a lotus petal.
A soft, contented sigh escapes Ren's lips, a subtle shift in their deep, even breathing. A feeling of profound rest washes over them, a sense of quiet contentment settling deep within their heart. The images and sensations of the dream journey, the silent wisdom of Thoth, the celestial embrace of Nut, the protective gaze of Horus, all melt into the soft, comforting fabric of their slumber. The night deepens further, if that is possible. The moon, now a sliver, dips below the horizon, taking with it the last of its gentle light. The stars remain, twinkling softly, but their brilliance has muted, as if they too are preparing for their long rest before the new dawn. A profound stillness settles over the land. The distant owl is silent. The desert winds have quieted to barely a whisper. All is peace. All is rest. The air is cool and sweet, a perfect blanket for deep slumber. Within the small house, Ren sleeps on, their body deeply relaxed, their mind at ease. The gentle rhythm of their breathing fills the quiet space, a soft, steady cadence that mirrors the slow, timeless pulse of the ancient land. They are safe, they are watched over, they are cherished. The dreams that now weave through Ren's mind
are not of grand adventures or exciting pursuits. They are dreams of quiet beauty, the soft lapping of water against a boat, the gentle brush of papyrus, the cool touch of starlight on skin, the warm, reassuring presence of ancient wisdom. They are dreams that whisper of peace, of deep contentment, of the profound rest that comes after a long, gentle journey. Imagine now that you too are drifting into this same deep, peaceful slumber. Feel the softness of your bed beneath you, the coolness of the air on your skin. Hear the quiet rhythm of your own breathing, a gentle tide rising and falling. Let your thoughts, like the last rays of moonlight, slowly recede, dissolving into the vast, calm ocean of your subconscious. Allow yourself to be carried by this feeling of profound tranquility, this deep, restful peace. The stories of ancient Kemet, of the gods and goddesses, of the silent desert and the eternal Nile have woven a tapestry of calm around you. You are safe. You are protected. You are utterly at peace. The night is a gentle guardian, holding you in its quiet embrace. The stars are distant lullabies, the moon a watchful eye. All is still, all is quiet, all is rest.
With each soft breath, you drift deeper, deeper into the embrace of slumber, deeper into the quietude of peace. Let every muscle relax, every thought soften. Sleep now, beloved traveler. Sleep deeply and peacefully until the gentle touch of the morning sun awakens you, renewed and refreshed. The sands of slumber hold you gently. The whispers of the Nile sing you to rest.